What's up guys, it's Tristan here and I'm back with another lore video for Destiny 2, as I did a poll on Instagram and on Snapchat and it came to 13 votes altogether for lore and 10 for a gameplay video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a lore video today, then not tomorrow, but on Friday I'm going to be doing a gameplay video, or just me doing Crucible, and I've got something special planned for Sunday which I'll be uploading a video about on Saturday. So I'm getting a schedule together, sort of thing, one video every other day, so then I have basically 2 days to make the video and upload it on the end of the day. So yeah, I hope you guys are having a brilliant day. But as you can tell by the title of the video, Destiny 2 Twilight Gap, what's that all about? Because it's not really Destiny 2 related, it's more Destiny 1. But I got requested by my friend to do a Destiny 2 video on Twilight Gap and the battle of it, so I just thought I would just talk about it really. So the battle of Twilight Gap is basically where the Fallen, all of the Fallen came together to attack the city, basically just claw out the city and try and destroy as much of it as they could, or take it for themselves. Obviously it failed because that's in the events prior to Destiny 1, so before Destiny 1's existence. But there's a lot of people who were there who are still in Destiny now, like say for instance Lord Shaxx was there, Saint 14, he was at the Battle of Twilight Gap, a lot of people of a good legendary Guardian, say for instance, the people who everyone really recognises in the Destiny universe was there. So I'm going to be talking about today in this video just, you know, either why certain people might not have been there and things like that. But in just a second, in literally 10 seconds, I have managed to get a screenshot of the lore that I will be reading out. So if you guys want to read along, then that's fine, or if you guys just want to listen to me, that's also fine. But it will be cutting from the gameplay to this screenshot in about 5 seconds time. So basically the lore card on the Ishtar Collective, as you've seen on screen now, it goes, a battle on the recent history of the city and the greatest battle ever to take place there. Prior to the start of the Battle of Twilight Gap, Queen Morozov of the Reef intercepted the House of Wolves, who were on their way to Earth. This prevented the House of Wolves from taking part in the battle and culminated the Reef Wars. See the Maride for more of that. The remaining fallen houses, led by the House of Devils, united on the perimeter of the city. Walkers exchanged artillery fire with the city's gun positions. One such gun position became overrun by Fallen, and many Guardians died holding the line. As the tide of the battle turned in favour of the city, some Guardians pushed forward to counterattack, led by Lord Shaxx, the Crucible vendor, who is still in Destiny 2. In the aftermath, most of the outer sections of the city were abandoned or converted into fortifications. Following the battle, Lord Shaxx petitioned the Vanguard to set up the Crucible as a training ground for Guardians, so that the city would be better prepared for any future attacks. One of the first areas dedicated for use in the Crucible was the gun position that had been overrun by the Fallen. The arena was named Twilight Gap in honour of the battle, and that is the reason why there is, you know, the Twilight Gap there, and that's the reason why, you know, Twilight Gap actually exists. Well, not exists, but it was basically like an outpost that they had, and it got fallen, or taken by Fallen, I should say, and it fell to them. So with that, first thing on that card, that it says that Morozov, which is the queen, she intercepted the House of Wolves, which obviously would make a lot of sense, because the House of Wolves was a DLC that came after the Twilight Gap event, because we didn't even know about the Twilight Gap event when Destiny first came out, so it would have been a bit after that. But that makes it a lot of sense to people who played House of Wolves and saw everything, so it makes a lot of sense in that way, and that's really cool that they've added that in in just, in a little thing about Twilight Gap, which I find is really, really cool. Now, also, there is going to be a video that I'm going to be making on Sunday, which is going to be part of my new series I'm going to be making, which is going to be talking about Prince Aldrin, the Queen's brother, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, back to this. So the screenshot's still up there, just in case you guys couldn't read it, or just in case I read it a bit too fast, so just so you can read it at your own pace. Sorry about that. Sorry if it's a bit blurry. It's the best I can do with SHAREfactory, unless I import images, which I have to do a lot of stuff, which would take me more than a week or two to do. But anyway, it's going to be cutting back to gameplay in about 4 seconds, so just finish up reading now. Then I know with the House of Wolves though, that makes a lot of sense now, because obviously Skolas, if he had been at the city, that could have been a whole different story sort of thing. It could have been a whole different battle with Skolas and the House of Wolves being there. It really could have changed the tide of the battle for the city, because obviously when the Fallen first got there, they were winning, and like they said, they overrun many positions like Twilight Gap and many other sectors of the city and gun areas like that. But it's really cool just to be able to see like a map I used to love and play on is still, in the lore, and it's still there, and it's really cool that they expand on that in the future DLCs and stuff like that. I really appreciate that, and when my friend asked me to do a video on it, I was really happy, just because, it's actually a really cool thing to talk about. I love Twilight Gap, and I just love the thing behind, like, thinking about, the battle that must have gone down, and the Guardians that, were just there with hundreds and hundreds of Fallen coming on them, fighting to their last breath. It just makes me feel really, well, not happy, but, it just is really cool just to think about it, and, it's cool as. But that's that. Anyway, now Lord Shaxx, obviously he is a very powerful Guardian, isn't he? Because he petitioned for the Crucible to be there in honor of the battle, like it says, which I thought was really cool as well, because he's not just making it safer for the city, us training and making sure that we're prepared, but he's also making it so we remember all the lost Guardians in that in that battle, and all of the lost friends and family that they lost, all the ghosts and all the light that the Fallen took from the Guardians and from the Traveller, which I find again really cool. And I could talk about this for ages, but I don't want to make my videos too long, so I'm going to try and keep this in 10 minutes, 15 minutes max. Okay, but where is it? Here we go. It says that it was led by the House of Devils. Now, in the House of Wolves DLC that came out, we had a Fallen Varix. That's his name, Varix. We had a Fallen person or vendor in the Reef called Varix, who was a member of House of Devils, if I remember rightly. Which is again really cool to think about, that he obviously betrayed the House of Devils and came to the Reef when probably as the Fallen were being ambushed by the Queen. And again, with the Queen, she opens up the Reef to the Guardians in the House of Wolves, and she says that the House of the House of Wolves betrayed her, meaning that obviously when all the other Fallen went after the city, they must have made either like a peace treaty, or she must have basically been able to keep them so they were not going to attack her, and they betrayed her, and then we came in and we took out Skolas and the House of Wolves and took them out of the Vault of Glass and everything like that, which is really cool just to see, because obviously they know that they were going to be they were crippled after that fight, because there was no other people left to fight, because the city had stayed up and all the Fallen were going to be crippled after that, just because we had destroyed so many factions of Fallen, which again I find is really cool. Now I'm pretty sure Saint 14 I believe was also at the Twilight Gap, and there's a lot of like if you go onto the website, there is actually like a lot of different it's called Ishtar Collective if you type that in online. There's like a lot of different like links in the bottom of it, and it will show you all of these different things, and it will show like the Walker, and it says Iron Banner, which makes me believe that Lord Saladin would also have been there, considering he wouldn't have been at the temple to deal with Siva at that point. He would have been in the tower doing well, just protecting the city at that point, because Siva was not a problem then. It was a problem way back when the Traveller first came around. Then it also says that the Galahorn was it also puts the Gallon on the bottom there, meaning that, you know, the Gallon might have been used there. And then it puts items, and then it puts all of these different weapons and things like that, like the Grim Citizen, armor pieces, all of these different things, like Scourge of Winter. That's a House of Wolves thing that came out. The Hunt for Skolas. That would have been the main objective after the Twilight Gap battle, because they would have known, okay, the House of Devils weren't here, what has happened, and then Skolas would have been the only, you know, big member left alive for them to have to take out to really cripple the Fallen. Which in the end we did take him out, and we put him into the Prison of Elders, and then we went into the Prison of Elders and brutally murdered him, which was, I have to admit, pretty fun, considering I did it so many times. I really enjoyed Prison of Elders. And I'm going to leave the video there. If you guys want me to talk about any more battles from Destiny 1, any lore from Destiny 2 currently, it will be pretty cool. Now my next video is going to be gameplay of me doing Warmind activities, which is a strike that is in the background currently. This is a strike going after Nocris, the Betrayer, also known as Oryx's other son. So, you know, that's pretty cool. So we're going to be that's the strike that I'm doing in the background here. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed me putting the screenshot in as well, because I know a lot of people have been giving me feedback saying, really, can you put the screenshot in there so I can read along? I'd really appreciate it if you could. So your thoughts are, you know, heard. Just comment them down below, message me on Snapchat or Instagram. It's in my bio on either of them. It has my my Instagram and my Snapchat on both of them. So, you know, just hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you ever so much for watching, and put your comments down below of what you want me to do next. Goodbye.